How is everybody doing? Welcome to Red Alert Diaries Live. And I'm glad I get the chance to see you again. And I'm hoping that you listened to this morning's episode because if you did, then we are going to have a great conversation. Because I shared with y'all that there are moments when life will have to pause you. We are living in a society, especially if you are a person that lives in the United States. There are so many pockets in this country where the culture is run, 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 do, 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 and you don't get the opportunity to rest. It's in the resting that your creativity is fueled. It's in the resting that you bring your A game. We all want to operate in excellence. But sometimes we don't really think about the thought that if we rest for a moment, we can be exceptional. So, in this morning's episode, I shared some things that I did and some tips and tools for you to be able to gauge how you can operate in excellence and take a break. We have to remember to take a break now. Let me pause and first say, that is not my first journey. That is not my first story. My husband has been trying for years to get me to take a break. I tried, I think about it, I want to do it, but has not always worked well for me. Because here's the thing, if you're like me, the person that's supportive and giving and love what you do, because I like what I do, my gifts, skills, and talents fit both personally and professionally. So when I function and I show up, I am enjoying it. I'm focused. I'm there. I'm in the zone. So it doesn't often come to mind for me to pause, take a break. But here's the thing, when you're done with your zone moments, do you jump to the next one or do you pause? I have had to be intentional and create a new habit of resting in between tasks. Sometimes we can't take a full break depending on what's happening in your life, but you can pause between tasks. If you are that person, I shared this morning in this episode of how you can take those mini vacation moments in your hometown. But if you feel like you don't have time for that, plan it out. You plan everything else you want to do. Plan time for you. Plan a break for you. Plan to enjoy life and do the things that you need to do in those moments because we don't pay enough attention to the fact that those are the things that will support us on our journey. And if you aren't supported on your journey, that can be your best position. You'll lose out. I don't want you to lose out. So let's take some moments and find a way of getting the joy in our world and operating in excellence by taking a break. So one of the things that I shared this morning was doing your hometown vacation moments. But here's something else that you can do. You can put yourself in a position where you take a quick walk. There's always little things. Taking a quick walk or playing a video game. We have our phones, and on your phones, you can get one of those little games that you can just drop down. Get one of those that you can just quickly do along the way. 3 minutes, little playtime, 5 minute little playtime. It's okay because playing is not causing you to waste time. It's often when you do those games, especially if you pick the right ones, it triggers something in your mind that gives you a different touch point. Some parts of your brain take a quick moment to rest, and other parts become more creative, more inventive, more in a view to make you exceptional. But if you don't take a break, you miss those opportunities. If you don't take a break, you show up depleted. If you don't take a break, you could actually be missing something that would help you be amazing. If you're a business owner, solopreneur, I have a lot of those in my world, including myself. So let me talk to you all. When we are solopreneurs, don't take the moments to take those breaks because we are the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. We aren't on our A game. We can miss some things, especially if you don't have enough resources and systems in place to support you. So start by creating some of the systems that can deal with your rudimentary issues. There are some basic things that I just no longer do. I have invested inside of resources that can do those basic things for me. So I can take that 5 minute break, that 10-minute break. I don't do much more than 30 minutes often when I am on my zone moments. But that 30 minutes is helpful. Take some time and see how it works for you. And for those of you that have your hustle and bustle on, you're striving for the goal, you are the go-getters, the natural leaders. It is in you to lead, it is in you to go because you see the goal and you just want to get there. Yes, you, that one right there. You need a break as well. Give yourself an opportunity to delegate. Delegating gives you the chance to see who the leaders are in your pack because usually you are the one that's leading. And so you can go so far, so much, thinking you're carrying this burden all by yourself because you're not giving anybody else the opportunity to let their light shine. Let you see, can they do it? So if you're on a tight schedule or have a deadline, bring someone along to see what you do. If that first task is something that you just got to work through completely, let them see it. The next one, give them a small part and then let them run with it. It's a piece that won't be on a critical path. It's not an immediate milestone that needs to be met. So you can get the chance to see what extra gifts they bring to the table. Because the reason we have amazing things happen is because each of us bring a gift. Even if your gift is similar to my gift, we won't show up the same way. My husband, an amazing coach. He is a mental conditioning coach. He is that individual that comes to you and gives you the mindset elements to help you think better, do better, and function better. I also function on mindset, but I approach it way different than he does. See, I'm more geared towards the strategy and the mindset. He's more geared towards pausing you to think about what you did. And then he'll provide you one subset along the way that can help you. I get you to think about the strategies and then you pause when you pause. I'll catch up with you along the way, but those different ways of approaching a situation still makes a strength that the individual that you're supporting can get the different elements. So join that person on your team. Yeah, you are still the leader. Yeah, you are still the go-getter and you will take charge. But you don't have to be the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker all in one, all the time. Let someone else join you on the journey. And for those of you, another element of my being, process oriented. We think in strategy. That's where we are in our zone. Because we think so much in strategy, our brains are always moving. You have got to learn to slow your brain down. And here's one way that you can do that. Write down what it is that you want to do next. Writing it pauses you. Never thought about that, huh? We don't often think about how some of the small techniques and the small things that we do can give us a strength because writing it causes your brain to pull up a different element and it pauses you long enough that you get the chance to take a break from that immediate thing that you were doing. And because it's written, you get the opportunity to go back, get another touch point, see a different version of it, turn it around in different ways so that you can see if there's something different that you can now do and it's there. Oh, that part can be your sweet spot because you will see something different in the written form that can trigger another synapses in your brain because we're always taking in so much data. That visionary person, yeah, you're visionary for a reason because you can walk into a room, an ordinary room for others, but when you walk in, you see someone over in a corner that needs some support. You may not say anything to them, but you recognize it. In another part of the room, you may see that there's some extra tasks that needs to be accomplished. You may not touch it, but you see it. And because you're such a visionary and because you can take a lot of those data points, and even though you may not be the one that's in the lead, you can be their best support system. So write them down. And one day you'll take the opportunity to share it. And it is there that you get the chance to see another version of your strength be maximized and a better support for those around you. So take a break from the hustle and bustle. Don't let life keep putting you in a position where you're running because we were designed to do all this running around. Even in the Bible, when God created the heavens and the earth, he put a decree on himself and he rested on the seventh day. If God rested, it wasn't because he was tired, y'all. He rested because what he did was done, and he knew taking a break continues to let him be exceptional. Those of you that know me know that I have a belief that we are designed in the image of the creator of the universe. And if I'm designed like God, I need to do some things that God does. Resting, that I will never, ever, 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 ever be able to do all the things that the creator does, which is why you need to have God join you on the journey. I often say, if you're walking through some major things in life, then you need to have a being greater than yourself support you in that. For me, that's Jesus Christ. And when I finally stop trying to do all the hustle and bustle, all the stuff for myself, and let Jesus join me on the journey, I now know it's okay to take a break, especially if you were like I was, that single parent trying to figure out how to be mommy and daddy, all the things, because what your children once had, if you've gone through a divorce like I have, it's no longer there. And you think that you've got to do every single thing because you're carrying the load of two. Mm-mm. When I let Jesus join me on the journey, I discovered that yes, that hustle and bustle was something that I felt, but that burden wasn't the way I was built. So I paused, thinking that these things would fall apart because I paused, only to discover because I turned it over to the creator of the universe and let him do what he does. He can hold the world. That song when I was little, he's got the whole world in his hand. That I discovered was a true statement. When he provided funds that I did not work for, when he provided food that I did not purchase, when he provided support I didn't even know I needed. So when I share with you, take a break. It's to make you better. It's to support you on your journey. As much as you support everybody around you, you are often the refuge, the calm and the storm for everybody else. Be your calm so the storms in life don't constantly rage. You can have a breathing moment, and it's okay. Those that you support will be fine. You'll get the chance to give them other ways of being a resource so that they can do some things on their own. So you're not constantly called to put out fires in people's lives. One of those things that I learned that I am now enjoying more. My great grandmother used to sit sometimes on the porch and sip tea. In my mind, I'm trying to figure out, she keeps saying we got to do all these things, but she sat and she sipped some tea. Well, now, y'all, a part of me has turned into my great grandmother. I now sit down in between my tasks when I get home from work, because yes, I still have my 9 to 5, because I enjoy what I do. I'm built for this. And until I feel God says do different, that's where I'm going to be. But when I get home, instead of running into my next thing, like doing this with you all, I pause. I take a break. I let one part of my skill set rest, rejuvenate, because I'm often pulling on that skill again. If you are that person so talented, like I have been sharing, that skill that you do, that strength inside of you, it's usually tapped into in your morning, what I usually call your 9 to 5, and then you pick it right up from your 5 to 9. Yeah, you're going to still need to let it rest. So take that break in between and let it be maximized so that you can continue to be exceptional. Let me pause because I am just chit-chatting to see if there's any comments, questions, or thoughts that you guys may have along the way. Hey, thanks so much. I'm glad that you are here enjoying the journey with me. So leave your comments below. Let me know. What are you doing to take a break? Because in this morning's episode, my husband says, we take all these expensive trips just so you can go to sleep and eat. Yep. And if that is what you need to do to take a break, to rejuvenate so that you can show up and be your most amazing self, do it. So let me know where you're going. Let me know what you're doing. Maybe I can include that on my next task. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining me in this Red Alert Diaries Live. I'll see you next time. And we can have another conversation about what you guys put down in the comments below.